Okay, hey guys, it's Memorizer92. Alright, today I'm gonna go for the Pinnacle Entropy Glaivier guide. Okay, first of all, about the Entropy Pinnacle Glaivier. So a lot of people have been raising up the voice on me saying there are a lot of KR people in lowawa.com who are running Pinnacle Entropy. Why is that, Memorizer? Okay, the reason is simple. In KR, so our level is like over 1600, which is very high, right? And so our DPS is highly inflated. And when the system is highly inflated, then people seek for the build that has the highest potential. So the Entropy Pinnacle has the highest potential among all the Pinnacle build, but that doesn't mean the build actually does the most damage in the real raid, because potential is not equal to damage, right? It involves with very high risk. Because of that, I do not recommend you to play this, to be honest, because the risk means this build have to back attack all the time. And the problem of this build is, well, the blue skills does not have any problems because the blue skills get a lot of attack speed buff, right? So it's easy to land. But the problem is on the red skill. The red skill has long animation like this. See? And by the way, it might look fast, but trust me, this is a slow animation, because when you're aiming the ass of the mob will easily turn away with this kind of slow animation. So because of the long animation of the red skills, and because you have to aim as a back attack, you will suffer a lot. And does it do a lot of damage even though you hit it? The problem is, even though you hit it, the crit rate of Starfall Pounce and Red Dragonhorn is, for me, the highest crit rate is 67%, which is not high, because these two are single hit skills. And for single hit skills, 67% crit rate is low, right? Like, think about Destroyer using Perfect Swing with 67% low crit rate. That's despair, right? Yeah, you want single hit skill to have a high crit, but like this is the best build I can come up with. So there's a lot of problem with this build anyways. So even though you aim the back, and even though it did hit the back, if it doesn't crit, then you do low damage, very low damage. Yeah. So overall, if you really want to play Entropy Pinnacle, then you can play it, but I recommend you to have a safety device. Safety device means like you have to leave your original other build, like Nightmare specs with Pinnacle build or something like that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because there might be a certain point where you play this and then you think that this build is not for you. Then, like, if you don't have other build that you already had, then you have to spend more money, right? So if you don't want that to happen, you need a safety device. You need the original build to stay. Okay. Okay, now here I go. So that was the intro. So let's go to the stats. For the stats, I'm running Spac Swift Crit. And here's what. This is one of the optimized stat distribution. I literally theory crafted this, and I checked the Loawa, and there's actually a lot of people who runs like this. Yeah, but you might bring up saying, but Memorizer, I've seen people running full spec and swiftness, no crit. That's viable if you have 9-7 stone, where the 7 is adrenaline. Because then you can have level 2 on adrenaline, so you have sufficient crit, so you don't have to put the invest the crit stat like me. Since I don't have that kind of stone, I have to run like this. Makes sense, right? Yeah. If you do not run crit, then trust me, like, these two skills will never crit. Yeah. Okay. So kind of like this stat distribution you want to go for, and this time let me try to go for engravings. Okay. So engravings, this is what not just me, what like over 90% of people go for. Grudge, Curse Stall, Ambush Master, Raid Captain, Pinnacle, and level 1 Adrenaline. Well, for the West, you need 9-7 stone to make it like this, right? So just, you know, disregard this. Yeah, just ignore it. So these 5, yeah. And this one, some of you guys might have a some controversial stuff, right? But the reason why this is the meta for Entropy Pinnacle over like Keen Blunt, Mass Increase, what else? Like all out attack, all those kind of, you know, things that Glaivier can go for. The reason why is Entropy Pinnacle, the DPS output relies heavily on red skill more than blue skills. So you want to scale high on the red skill. And what does the Raid Captain do? Raid Captain gives 18% full damage buff on Red Stance because Red Stance gives you full cap movement speed. But it doesn't on Blue Stance. But at least for Blue Stance, it gives around 10% though. Yeah, for me. Anyways, that's the reason why I'm running this. Think about Keen Blunt. If you run Keen Blunt, that's something like literally opposite from Raid Captain. It increases a lot of damage on blue skills. But Keen Blunt sucks in red skills because Red Stance already gives over 300% crit damage normally, right? And also Entropy gives you more crit damage, guys. Yeah, if you see the 2-set bonus, it gives me 65%. Yeah. So that's why Raid Captain is the meta and it's the answer for the Entropy build. If you see the skills, I'm running 4 on here. Yeah, for the movement, you know, utility and flash kick movement. This one, the counter skill with the movement as well for conveniency. And I'm running half moon slash like this. I'm running the holding tripod, by the way, for Entropy build because if you check out my latest videos, the reason why I was running a tornado on those videos is because of the cycle, the rotation. Thrust of Destruction, this skill, had to be used before the Shackling Blue Dragon buff ends. And to make that happen, I ran the Tornado Slash, which had a short animation. Makes sense, right? And that's a Spac Swift build, by the way. But for this build, the Entropy Pinnacle build, you don't have to because the rotation is completely different. You use Shackling Blue Dragon and then you immediately swap over to the red skill because these two skills has a low crit. So you want to use these two, Red Dragon Horn and Sorrowful Pounce, before the Shackling Blue Dragon ends. Which means you don't use Shackling Blue Dragon for your blue skills. And also, if you're running Entropy Pinnacle build, your blue stance most likely already have 100% crit rate on all the skills. Let's check this out. Yeah. So from red to blue, if I swap, this is the crit rate. Watch. It becomes 87.85%. The thing is, you do back attack, right? So you have to add 87.85 plus 10, which is 97.85. That's almost 100 already. For all the skills. Yeah. So that's why Shackling Blue Dragon should not be used for blue skills, but it has to be used for the red skills. So that's why since Tornado Slash doesn't matter, because of the different cycle, you just go for the holding skill because this one obviously does a lot more damage than this one. For the rune, I'm running Gale Wind. Yeah, Gale Wind for this one. And for Raging Dragon Slash, I'm running additional slash. The thing is, I mean, you can run the precise slash if you want. What I felt is that even with legendary Gale Wind, I found out that it is yeah, kind of clunky. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I'm running additional slash, and it makes more flawless rotation. Yeah, so I'm running like this. The rune I'm running is Conviction on Raging Dragon Slash, and the Wheel of Blade, like this, typical, and the rune is Judgment. So you use the Raging Dragon Slash, and then the Wheel of Blade to activate Conviction Judgment. Yeah, in this case, for me, for if you check other people in Loawa, it might be different, but for me, this is more convenient to me. Yeah, since Half Moon Slash is a holding skill, I think it need the Gale Wind. Yeah. Okay, and Shackling Blue Dragon, same. Rune is Bleed Rune, and Spiraling Spear. This one I'm running Purify Rune. You don't have to run this if you don't want to. I'm running this because in KR, the Guardian and the Archon Raid requires Purification Rune, so I'm just sticking to it. And this has a short cooldown, so I can activate it a lot, right? Okay. Last 3 skills. Thrust of Destruction. Alright. This one definitely running the weak point detection because you're running Entropy build, Entropy set, and Entropy gives you crit rate. And also I'm running crit stat, right? So let me show you my crit rate on red stance. Okay, if you see here, it is 34%. It's not that high, right? So this 34 is coming from the Entropy and the substat. What else you have to notice is Thrust of Destruction on the 3rd tripod increases the crit rate by 50%. So this crit rate actually is 84% for this skill then, 84. And if you back attack, then that's another plus 10, so that's 94%. So that's why this skill is almost guaranteed crit. And if you're running Adrenaline like me, then it's 100%. Starfall Pounce. Okay, Starfall Pounce, if you see here, definitely running this tripod, which doesn't guarantee crit because that's why you're running Entropy Pinnacle Guide, right? Yeah, high potential. No doubt on this. The rune that you want to run for this is Gale Wind for Thrust of Destruction and for the Starfall Pounce as well. Red Dragon Horn. You're running this one that gives more potential instead of the guaranteed crit. Makes sense, right? And for me, I'm running another Gale Wind. So if you check it out, I'm running 4 Gale Wind. One on here, one on here, and one on here, and one on here. You guys don't have 2 legendary Gale Wind, right? So for you guys, I would recommend running at least a blue Gale Wind on this one, Half Moon Slash. Yeah, and put the heroic on like either 2 of these. That's what I recommend. Yeah, Gale Wind is important for Glaivier because of long animation, especially for this build. Makes sense, right? So that's the skill part. And for the Awakening, definitely you want to run the second one because second one is stronger than first one. Let's go back to gems. You need 6 attack gems. The 6 ones are definitely Wheel of Blade, Half Moon Slash, Raging Dragon Slash, Thrust of Destruction, Starfall Pounce, Red Dragon Horn. For the other 5 cooldown reduction gem, Shackling Blue Dragon, Half Moon Slash, Thrust of Destruction, Starfall Pounce, and Red Dragon Horn is what I recommend to have a flawless rotation. At last, let me try to show you the rotation. So let's say you have an Awakening, then you want to use it on a red stance, not on a blue stance. Well, I tried this and the red, if you use this skill on a red stance, then it only have like 50% crit rate. But even with 50% crit rate, it did averagely more damage than using it on a blue stance. It did. So for this build, it's rather better to use this Awakening on a red stance right after using the party synergy, Shackling Blue Dragon. So most likely you want to do it like use a Shackling Blue Dragon and then switch and immediately go for the Awakening. Yeah, and then go on with the skills like this. Yeah. Always have to note that you use Red Dragon Horn as a first skill, then Starfall Pounce. Because Red Dragon Horn is the first strongest, and Starfall Pounce in this build is the second strongest. Yeah, and they don't guarantee crit. So you want to use it right after you use the Shackling Blue Dragon like this, and then immediately before the buff ends here. See? And you can see that it doesn't crit much, even with the buff. So that's how bad it is. But you have to get used to it. And then Thrust of Destruction, because this skill already like almost guarantees crit anyway, so it doesn't even need the party synergy. So when you come back, the first thing you want to do is Raging Dragon Slash, because this skill already has over 100% crit rate. And then that it has conviction. So right away you want to use Wheel of Blade to activate the judgment, and then do this holding half moon slash. And from here it repeats. Shackling Blue, and then switch, Red Dragon, Starfall Pounce, and then the Shackling Blue ends. It doesn't matter for Throws of Destruction, swap back, do the Raging Dragon Slash, and do the skill in sequence, and use the Shackling Blue Dragon. And if you come back, see the cooldown reduction like fits well, right? Swap back, just like this, and wait for a little bit, and then yeah. So for the gems, it's better to follow how I run. So anyways, that's it for today, and I hope you guys like the Pinnacle Entropy class. I don't recommend it, by the way. Anyways, stay Giga Chat, spam loaded.